Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In today's video, it is going to be a meal prep, my first meal prep. So this is just meal prep for a week for the family because I'm in full-time employment as a mom and I barely have the time every day to come home and cook. So I just prepare things like this and leave them in the fridge, leave them out in the fridge, and then we help ourselves every day. And I get to do this on my days off. So, guys, if this is your first time of coming to this channel, I would like to welcome you and encourage you to please subscribe to this channel if you have not. And to my returning viewers, thank you so much and welcome. Please sit down, relax, and then join me as I meal prep for the week. And I hope to read your comments. Please send me your comments on this meal prep video, and let me see if this kind of video appeals to you. So, shall we continue? So, friends, today's video we are I'm just doing a meal prep for the a couple of days or for the week, and I'm starting off with those beans, picking those beans. It's one of my husband's favorite, but before I start, I just have to pick out the stones and the chaff that is not needed in the beans once it's cooked. It's painstaking to do this, but I do this to ensure that I leave an experience in the mouth of my husband when he's eating. Once I'm done picking the beans, I just wash it about 2 or 3 times to remove any chemical residue that's left in the beans during process of harvesting and preservation. When I'm doing a meal prep for the week, I usually start with the food or the meal that takes the longest to cook. And in this case, because we want to have beans at some point during the week, beans has to be the first thing that I start cooking. Whilst it is cooking, I will be prepping other things that I will need for the different meals I'm prepping for the week. I have added boiling water to it, but once it boils, I will have to, drain that water. And whilst my beans is on heat to boil, I just start peeling the onions that I will use in the beans and allow it to cook until it is tender, very, very tender. You see the paint has been boiling for some minutes, and I have to drain this water. And this process, I have noticed, it helps to reduce bloating and heartburn, I believe, because ever since I started making my beans this way, my husband hardly complains of heartburn. I don't know if there is any scientific proof to this, but this is the experience that I've had. It might be different for you. And another thing, it gives me the assurance that there is actually no chemical that is going to be working that will harm any member of the family when we eat this beans. And once I drain that water once or twice, I just allow the beans to cook until it is very, very tender. Whilst that's on the fire, I'm just doing other stuff to get my other meals ready for cooking. I'm adding my chopped onions. I like the flavor and the smell you get when you add onions into a boiling pot of beans. I love the smell, and I love having a lot of onions in my beans. I like the taste that it gives to the beans when I'm having loads of it in. I'm chopping more onions because it will go into the beans. Now, I'm going to add chopped fresh tomato as well. You could blend your tomato and your pepper if you want, but I'm not going to blend. I'm just going to chop the tomato and use it like this in the beans, and get my beans ready and very tasty. get my beans ready and very tasty. This is not everybody's cup of tea. This is not the traditional way of making beans, but I believe that you improvise and you do your cooking to the way that you will prefer it. You know, the way the taste you're looking for is entirely up to you. So whilst I finished my onion and tomato chopping, there was oil on the hob getting ready. The oil might look like it's a bit on the excess, but it is not. It is not. So all I'm doing is to fry the onions and the tomato in my palm oil. Once it's ready and it's not there's no trace of sour taste or sour taste or sharp taste of the tomato in the oil, I'll transfer the content into my bean. Make sure that your beans has cooked until it is very tender and soft, and that there's no water, excessive water in the pot. Then I'll introduce I pour out my oil and my tomato and onion mix into the pot of beans, and I keep stirring. And as I'm stirring, I'm trying to mash the onion as well, to turn it into more like a porridge consistency. And once that is done and my oil is cooked and blended well with the beans, I just transfer into food storage containers and allow it to cool, and I'll leave it in the fridge. And then job one done, cooking of beans done, and I'll move on to the next cooking. So the next thing I want to prep for the week is the potato based meal. I am just going to dice these potatoes, and you will just see the process. And do you know what the beautiful thing about this for me is the fact that you can have this as a breakfast, you can have as lunch, and you can have it as dinner as well, depending on what you fancy for at the time, at the particular time of the day. And the beans that I made, you could have the beans even for breakfast as well. We Nigerians, I mean, these are typical breakfast meals that we have. You could have the beans with oats, you could have the beans with pap, if you could have the beans with just um a, a cup of tea or coffee or cornflakes or any other cereal. You could have that beans with it. And the same thing with this, you could have this as a breakfast or lunch or dinner. And as a busy mom who is in full-time employment, when I'm able to do all of this, I don't have to worry myself or stress myself. I really do not have a meal plan per se for the family. I just have meal prep, and once that is done, someone might fancy, oh, today I just want to have toast. Tomorrow you just want to have maybe the beans or like this potato. I don't have a name for it, but it's individual preference and what people want to have for breakfast. I didn't use all of the diced potatoes I had. I took some out to leave in the freezer, which I'm going to use maybe for next week to if I want to make meat chicken sauce. I will use that as a thickener. Um, and the potato has is on. I've put it to boil now, to boil it not until it's very soft, but to an extent that I can just pop it in the oven and do the rest what I want to do with it. I'm chopping my spring onions here, and just so you know, I didn't use all of the spring onions. I had it in excess, so what I did was I put the spring onions in one of my empty storage jar containers and put water inside of it and close it tightly and leave it in the fridge. So when next I want to cook and I need spring onions, all I need to do is to just bring it out from the fridge and drain the liquid content out, and then I use my spring onion. It stays fresh and still very um, rich in nutrients as well. Nothing has been lost and it has not gone bad. I am using these different peppers. I didn't use full. full bell pepper for each of this color that you see here. I halved the pepper, so the remaining half is put in a Ziploc bag, and I will leave it in my fridge to use for maybe something else during the week. We could use it in frying eggs. If somebody fancies having fried egg for breakfast or omelette, you can add it into that. I am going to add broccoli to this my potato sauce base dish, and I have some mushrooms I'm going to add to it. Basically, I will just whip everything to. I'll fry everything together, and then add it into a baking dish with the potato, and then add um, eggs on it, you know, and pop it in the oven, and voila, that's ready. So I'm just going to start by frying the onion, and I'll fry the garlic as well. I didn't add ginger. I don't know why I didn't add ginger, but if you want to add ginger to yours, you can add. But this is just me doing this. And one thing I forgot to get was fresh cream. In place of fresh cream, I used milk for this meal, but it would have been nice if I had fresh cream at home. And yeah, that's me. I've just added the mushrooms. I'm still going to fry all of it, and you could fry it in butter, you could fry it in olive oil, you could fry it in any oil of your choice. It's you, and depends on what you have. But at home, what I have right now is vegetable oil, and that is what I am going to use. I added some balsamic vinegar. I added some it into it, and just be careful when you're adding yours, so you don't your cooking doesn't catch fire. Yes, I hope I'm right. And I'm putting in my broccoli just to give it a pop in color, to pop up the color. For me, that's all there is to it. But at the end of the day, once this is done and it's in the oven and you bring it out, you're not going to see all this coloration anymore. But I believe that the nutrients will be released into the dish, and everybody would be well taken care of in terms of having the vitamins that we need for our bodies. Yeah. So I don't know how if you're if you're in full time employment and a mom and a wife, how do you run your home in terms of food? I have added some seasoning. I mix some seasoning together in vegetable oil to marinate the parboiled potatoes in, allow it to cool, and then add it into a baking dish. I think the mistake I made here was this baking dish was too small for this meal, because it's supposed to last for a couple of days. It's not going to last entirely 1 week, maybe 3 or 4 days, but it depends on what people choose to have. If everybody wants to have it for breakfast, then I don't think it will last beyond 2 days. If everybody wants to have it for like lunch, there's hardly anyone at home to have it as lunch anyway. So it's either breakfast or dinner, because I'm at work, hubby is at work, and the kids are in school. So they have whatever they have for lunch in school, and we have whatever we have for lunch at work. But then when we come home, we know dinner is already in the fridge. All we need to do is to bring it out and microwave whatever it is. Or like this potato, all I did with this dish was just to get it ready, allow it to cool properly, and then I covered it with cling film and left it in the fridge. And it was the next day that I brought it out to do the egg. What you see me doing, mixing the egg and pouring it on top of it and leaving it to bake in the oven. for about 30 to 45 minutes, and that is ready. And you can serve this with baked beans. You could serve this with baked beans. Because I didn't have cream at home, like I said, I added milk. If I had cream, I would have added a lot of cream in it, added a lot of cheese to it, and you may not necessarily need baked beans with it. But because I didn't have cream, so we I served it with baked beans. But the decision to have it with baked beans is optional as well. No one, I'm not going to force anybody in the house to take it with baked beans. That they choose, they can decide, yeah, I want it with baked beans, or no, I'm just going to have it plain as it is with maybe ketchup if you fancy ketchup. This is it out of the oven. I didn't add excess cheese to this potato dish. I still don't have a name for it, And yeah, that's it. Like I said, my meal prep takes care of breakfast and dinner. So I try to make sure whatever I'm making and leaving in the house for the week, at least we could have it for either breakfast or dinner if you choose to. If you choose to have it that way. And yeah, that's baked beans because I wanted to serve it, and I had to heat up the baked beans and serve it with the baked beans. It's filling, and it was really, really nice. Really nice. My family, they love it. They devour it every time I make it. Every time I make it, they devour it. So I'm moving on to the next prep for the week, which is I'm going to make soup, and I'm making F4, my version of F4 soup. What you're seeing here is offals. You have the tripe, and then you have what they call a body. I don't know the English name for a body, but my Nigerian family would know what that is. I just going to make this. And so you know that I was doing all this cooking on one day. The pot you see beside this big pot is the beans that was cooking, but for the purpose of the video, I didn't want to do cut and join. So I decided to, like, I'm making every video about the beans, I put it up together just like that. I didn't want to do half and half and then come back so I don't miss any footage. Yeah, so that's me prepping and seasoning the meat parts, or the shaki or tripe, and then their body for the F4 soup, the way I make my F4 or vegetable soup. I'll call it vegetable soup. And this is mackerel fish. I'm prepping the mackerel fish as well because I will be needing the mackerel fish. I'll use it in the soup, and I'll also set it aside for um to have it with rice. To have it with rice because I'm going to make stew, but I know that my chicken will run out, but then the fish is there as backup plan for anybody that wants to eat. And I use lemons to wash my fish to remove the fishy smell. I use lemon, so that is the lemon I'm squeezing the lemon into the fish with water, and then I will wash it off. And then once I'm done with the fish, the I still use the lemon to clean the utensils, like the tray, the knife, and the chopping board. I use the lemon to clean it, and that way it keeps it clean and smelling fresh, smelling very fresh, and leaving no trace of fish smell in the sink, and not transferring the fishiness from the fish and the chopping board and the knife and the tray into another um, ingredient that I'm going to use in making whatever food. And I use the same lemon to clean the sink to remove every fishy smell in it. So once I'm done with cleaning the sink and the things I use to get the fish ready, I come into um, add my marinade mixture into the fish. I will marinate the fish. I rub it with my hands. Don't worry, guys, my hands are clean. And then I would cover it with a cling film and leave it in the fridge to rest for about 2 to 3. hours. Yeah, because I'll still be in the kitchen. And once it's been resting for and once I've allowed it to marinate for 2 to 3 hours, I'll now pop it into my air fryer and let the air fryer do the magic for us. I am going to start cooking the soup now. This my I start off by frying the meat part in the oil, or heated oil, and this is just me. I I like doing it this way, and then I first of all fry the meat, and I'll add locust beans, what we call iru, into the pot and allow it to cook. And the iru or the locust beans gives it its distinctive flavor or aroma. I like the aroma it gives to the cooking, to the soup once it's done. Yeah, I have my stockfish head also in this pot. I This soup, you could have it with rice. Remember, I'm meal prepping for the week, so I can have this with rice, boiled rice, plain boiled rice. Could have it with eba, that's gari. We could have it with semo, or we could have it with amala. But in my family, we have just eba or amala. As a matter of fact, my husband is the only one that eats the amala in the family. Not that the others don't eat it, but must have it. Can't afford to have eba due to health reasons. Because according to him, the eba does not digest properly in his stomach. Because the amala is so light, so it's easy for his system to accommodate it and deal with it. My soup is almost getting ready. It's nearly there. I'm going to add spinach to the soup. I got frozen spinach and I allowed it to thaw completely and squeezed out the the water content from the spinach, because you don't want the soup to be too runny, the consistency to be too runny. This soup is like the equivalent of edikang ikong soup that the FX make. And yeah, it might look it's as if it's oily. Um, that's the only way I know how to make it, and I'm a very healthy person. My family, they are healthy. We don't have any sickly person. We don't have any medical or health condition because of eating the palm oil as it is. So if you're a health freak, my apologies or no apologies. But this is what I feed my family with, and so far they are okay. Nothing has gone wrong, and this was how my mom was feeding me as well, and nothing has gone wrong. And just a quick one. This is grilled plantain or bole. Grilled plantain or bole. So I had this finger of plantain at home. So while the soup was making, I decided to, grill it and help myself with a green smoothie. I will show you towards the end of the video the ingredients that I used in my green smoothie. And moving on, so the next thing I'm going to make right now, once the soup is done, is I'm just going to make stew for the week as well. So we can fancy to have white rice or pasta. Can have the stew with white rice or pasta. I'm making chicken stew with cow foot, and my chicken is already was already prepared from my previous week's cooking. I made it and I divided it into two, and used one portion to cook last week, and I'm going to use the next portion to cook this week, which is what I am doing in this video. You can never, just maximize the time I have got and the ingredients that I have. I don't have a problem cooking every day in the kitchen, but it can be tiring, as it can be tiring, it can be exhausting, it can be overwhelming. So when it's my day off, I try to make sure I meal prep for the week till the next day I will be off work. Then I can carry on and do the more cooking. Once my stew is ready, I scoop it out into a food storage container, allow it to cool properly before I leave in the fridge. And all we have to do is to just boil rice. In the evening, we choose to have boiled rice and serve with the stew. And yeah, stew is ready for the week. So move on to the next cooking, which is jollof rice. Of course, there has to be jollof rice in the house. And what I usually do is, if I have leftover stew, I use that leftover stew as my tomato base to make the jollof rice, which is what I'm using in this cooking. The leftover stew from last week. When I say leftover stew, it means that there is no protein inside of the stew, no chicken, no beef, no fish, no nothing. It's just the stew, the tomato base itself, the sauce that's left. So I I up, is it upscale or recycled it, and I use it in making my jollof rice. But before I introduce the stew sauce, I just have to like fry my onions and my tomato paste again to give it that newness, to make it look as if it's taste but fresh as well. I add my jollof seasoning, and I just basically follow the process of making jollof rice. So this is the old leftover stew. I am giving it a new lease of life and using it to make jollof rice for the family. And yeah, this covers me for the week once my jollof rice is ready. So the meal prep, I've made soup. We can use it for, we can have a bar with it if we want to, or like I had with grilled plantain, or you can have it with boiled yam as well with a soup. I've made stew that we can use with boiled rice, boiled spaghetti or pasta, and I'm making jollof rice now. You can, yeah, you can eat jollof rice on its own. We can make salad, but I did not make salad in this video because I was really really tired, if I'm honest with you. And I've made the potatoes based dish that we could use to have it either as breakfast or dinner. It depends on what people you fancy. They can also have pancake in the morning for breakfast, but because I'm usually at work in the mornings when they wake up, I don't get to do that. But they all know how to make pancakes themselves. So if they fancy pancake when they wake up before going to school, they just help themselves and they make pancake. But you could also make the pancake and store it in the fridge, and all they need to do is to bring it out of the fridge and heat it up, microwave it, and then breakfast is ready and served. for them. So once my rice is ready, yeah, I'm using my celebration dish, celebration container, recycling the container to use to store my jollof rice. And I must say, at this point, I was exhausted. I was tired, and this day I had church service in the evening. I was really tired. So I told you about the smoothie I had. So these are the ingredients I used for this smoothie. I have celery, I have cucumber, I have my avocado pear, and I have my fresh spinach leaves. I chopped them up all and used milk as the liquid and blended it, and yeah, my smoothie was ready for me. I just recently started doing this smoothie business, so I'm hoping that I would see the difference in my body and my metabolism as well. I'm hoping I will see the difference. I will let you guys know if there is any difference. I've just started doing this to make myself feel good about myself. I just want to be intentional about what I consume now. As you're getting older, you just have to take care of yourself. So I decided to do this, and besides, I have the blender at home. I better make good use of it, which is what I am doing right now. And I just want to appreciate every one of you that has watched this video up to the end. I know it's a long video, but I cannot thank you enough if you've watched this video up to this very moment. Thank, thank you so very much. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead, subscribe, like this video, and share this video. And if it's your first time of coming across this channel, my name is Mina Wadi, and I do content on food, faith, lifestyle, and family. Please subscribe to my channel and be part of this channel. And I promise you're not going to regret joining this channel. So yeah, guys, my meal prep for the week is done, and I'm going to put my feet up and relax and enjoy this glass of smoothie. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.